Greetings, dear TV friend, and thanks for joining us on yet another edition of Women's Voice that comes to your TV screens to advocate for women, to amplify the voices of women, to encourage women in their every endeavor in life, be it in advocating, in supporting other gestures in life. It is not limited just to women. We could also advocate for men, but then we are putting women at the forefront to see the things women do on a daily in life, to make sure that they support others in the society such that they are better persons in the society, well respected. Today we want to look at a very vital and crucial topic, which is what role do women play, or women's role in promoting inclusivity for special needs children. Remember, these children are very special kind of persons, like the name goes, special needs. They are children with special abilities and who need special attention, special care, special, everything about them is very special, to be able to bring out the best in these children. Patience, they say, is always what is needed to always go about with these children. We made this video. I'm not alone as usual. I have some persons here who are advocates for persons with special abilities. I have special needs educators who are here to talk to us, talk to parents, talk to siblings of these special needs children on how they could actually include them in their activities, be it at home, be it outdoor activities, whatever is going to make them not feel less of a human being. We are here to talk about some of those things and find ways or propose ways in which parents out there could help their children, especially during this holiday period, to make them better and to feel inclusive in their homes, beginning from their homes, the community, and the nation and the world at large. So with me here we have Bilam Joy Nyomenka. Bilam Joy is a special needs educator. She has been in the field and she has special love and care for children. Greetings, Joy, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you too.
It's a pleasure to have you. And we also have with us Asobo Jovelin. Asobo Jovelin is the program manager of an organization that deals with children with disabilities and advocating for their rights and education. Greetings, Jovelin, and welcome to TMR TV on Women's Voice.
Thank you very much for having me here, ma'am. I'm very honored.
Okay, we also have with us another person who is Flavia. Flavia is also joining us. Flavia is also a special needs teacher. That's Atemkeng Flavia. She's a special needs teacher who has been in the field for 5 years. She has been handling children with special needs. So she really knows when we talk of special needs, she could really relate to these children and maybe ways of handling them and all of that. Greetings, Flavia, and thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
To be here today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you all here today to talk about special needs, to talk about children, how we could help these children, how we could assist these children in our own ways, be it through sensitization or advocacy. And before we get into our questions of today, you all are already in the field. You all have been handling children with special needs. So when we talk of special needs, you all relate so much to it. I want to begin maybe with you, Flavia. What inspired you to become a special needs teacher?
This question has always been asked for me every year, and I find joy in sharing it. I had my cousin who was a special needs, and each time he has crisis, and I used to just see the way how he suffers, the pains he goes through, and most times when he has this crisis, I really feel so bad. I really feel so bad that sometimes I feel like I don't really know what to do to help him. And when I had the opportunity to finish my advanced level and I got to the university, a friend of mine told me about special needs education. I just said, let me try. And when I got in, believe me, it was just so interesting. I find the love of helping children. I just want to be around them, help them, make them have a voice, that with the fact that they are special needs, they can still do what I can do.
Of course.
They can still do what their friends can do. So that's one of the reasons I always want to talk about them. Because they are filled with so much love.
I rightly said they are filled with so much love. Okay, and to you, Joy, what was your inspiration? What inspired you to become a special needs educator?
Okay, I'll begin by thanking you for this opportunity to share my experience. I had a nephew who had special needs, that's intellectual disability.
Okay.
You see that he struggles with education, and you know, when a child does not excel well in academics, people term them as a dull child, or child cannot do anything. Yeah, but since then I was still young, I could not understand what was happening. So while writing my advanced level, I had a program online which showed an interpretation, that's sign language online. That's when I had to go in and to detailing, like ask what does this program entails. Before they told me that it deals with special needs, I had to follow up what this special needs is all about, and I discovered that I could be through that course. I could help that my nephew, and I could help other children, because we know we term them as special needs children. It means that they are children with exceptionalities, and they just need us to pay attention to what they are doing for them to excel well. Thank you.
Okay, like she said, we can see that all of them, their experiences are coming from maybe one thing is leading to another, either their cousin, their nephew, and all of that. We know most of you out there also have this passion out of the way you see persons in the society. Okay, and Joveline, and to you, what was the inspiration for you to become an advocate for persons with special ability?
Okay, for me, I would personally say it started off with curiosity.
Okay.
I was just curious about it, like right from childhood. If we go to churches, when these children with special needs, they don't allow them to sit beside other children. They segment them. So if we go back, when I go back to like how things were before, they always term them like they were bewitched or something. So I always wondered, like, why is this child not like every other child? Why is he slow? Why does he talk the way he talks? Why does he behave the way he behaves? What is wrong with them? Then later on, when like going on to the university higher levels, I discovered that many people advocate for different things like gender-based violence and the right of children to education. But I later on found out that there are certain type of children who their rights are barely advocated for. It is not really, people don't really know about them. Parents don't even know that their children or your child being a special needs can have a right to certain things and to the society at large. So from there, that's when I decided to be an advocate. I said, all right, okay, I'm going to be a voice for these children. I'm going to work with NGOs, teachers, the society as a whole, to bring these children into light and to make people know that they are children like this. They are children like every other child, because before they are special needs, they are a child. So that was what made me to advocate for their rights.
Okay, thank you very much. That seems it sounds very inspirational, just you being curious to find out what is happening out there to these children and what special ability do they have. That's a very great one. And I want to look at maybe shared experiences. You have been in the field, you're in the field with these children 2/7. At least now you're on break, so you are taking the rest from the children, and I'm sure you're actually missing these children.
You just said my mind.
Because no matter how they are, they have a special way to your heart. So I'm sure you're missing them. So maybe you want to share some of the personal experiences or personal stories of special needs children who have made an impact in your life.
Believe me, a whole lot of them.
Okay.
A whole lot of them. You know, during school hours, you have to see them every day. You have to see them every day. And you're seeing them and interacting with them. You get to learn this part of you that speaks about being humble. The part of you that speaks about being kind. That is showing unconditional love to everyone. I have to meet this child where each time we meet this child in the morning, that child will come and hug you and greet you. Even if you're not greeting that child comes and greet you. And sometimes I ask myself that, is it that this child just believes that it's just greeting, or there are some other things attached to it? But you know, it's not only that greeting that they need. That smile that you show them, just that smile alone, brighten their day. And I also learned to be patient because you know, if you can be patient with those children, you can be patient with everybody. All of us have special needs.
Yes.
All of us have special needs. But I will say this, and some people will be like, you call me special needs.
Yes.
No, all of us have special needs. But it's just that there is that part of it. There is a mild, the moderate, the profound. So you have to now evaluate your own self and see where it's rather unfortunate that you have already seen theirs physically, because there are some that are intellectual. You cannot really see the chance that with intellectual disability, you cannot really see that chance that child has intellectual disability, except you have evaluated that child. But there are some that are just physical. You just see it and you know, like those people on the wheelchair. And when you see this child in the morning, the child greets you and you are like, good morning, he smiles, and you also smiles. If you were angry, you know, they have their way in which they make you, they spice up your day. Where you just come in the morning like that, you meet them, you are like, this one is hooking you, this one is making you smile, this one is making you forget about what is disturbing you. Sometimes you forget that you have not eaten because of what you receive from them. And I just know that God made me, that's my own way that I can help humanity. Yes, stand up for them. When I'm on the street and people are talking against them, I feel so bad. A lot of my friends tell me, you don't even want to hear about special needs, talking against them. I say, how will you even talk about them? What if it was your sister, your mother's child? Is that how you talk about your mother's child? Yes. So I just tell them that, no, please, let's show them kindness. Let's show them love.
I think they need more of that.
Yes. And believe me, when you love them, they know. Yes, because if you see them and you are frowning, you don't even need to even frown. There's some of them that read you, like they read your psychology and know that this person like this will never want me and they'll never want to come beside you. But you has always shown them love, kindness, cleaning them, like because in school you have to clean them, and that those little gestures, those are what they need. They don't need you to give money. Believe me, this giving that we are giving each day is not about giving money. Giving out your smile to someone, giving out your kindness, showing concern to somebody is more than money sometimes.
Thank you very much. Showing consent to these children is more than money sometimes. All they need is your love, because some of them already have all the material things they need, but they don't have that compassion and love they will expect from persons to give them. And to you, Joy, how do you being a special needs educator, how do you create an inclusive environment for these children in school? Because even in school we could still say there is still some sort of discrimination and all of that. So how do you create an inclusive environment for all of these children in school such that they feel loved and feel at ease?
Yeah, thank you for this question. To create an inclusive environment, first thing we have to do is to accept that this special need child. You have to first of all accept the child. If you cannot accept the child, you can never create an inclusive environment for the child. So the first thing before creating an inclusive environment, you have to accept that child with a special need. And accepting the child means you're accepting the child can be amongst those with normal children. Yes. So for you to create an inclusive classroom for those children, you have to make the environment accessible for them. What do I mean? Like children with this wheelchair, we know they need wheelchairs. The environment should be in a way that they can be able to access any classroom at any time. Because if they cannot access that classroom, they have limit to knowledge, because they will not be able to learn with their peers because the environment is not conducive for them. So you have to create an environment where they can access everything. Secondly, like in a classroom, you know you are dealing with special needs children and the regular ones. You make plan your lesson in a way that you accommodate everybody. Yes, that's really an inclusive classroom. It means if you are teaching like mathematics, you know, if you are going to, like, they are adding, you know that there are some of these learners, these kinesthetic learners, the ones that see before they understand. There are some, they just need auditory, they just need to hear, they understand. It means you plan your lesson according to the learners you have in your class. When you know the learners you have, you will know how to handle them. So you have to plan also your lesson, making the environment inclusive for those children. Then their space. The space too in that classroom should be accessible. It means if you have a child who has physical disability, know where to position that child. We have a child with visual impairment, you know where to position that child for the child to be able to learn to cooperate with the others. Then for another strategy, you can group the learners.
Okay.
Yes, you group them. Why those ones that excel? Because children learn more from their peers than the teacher.
Right.
Yes, when they interact with their peers, they understand perfectly well.
Okay.
So you can group the children. When you give let me just say you group them for an assignment or a presentation. Yes, you group them. Those ones that are excelling, they explain to those to the special needs.
Okay.
Yes, it goes.
Okay.
Thank you
so much. And to you, Joveline, you are an advocate for these children with special abilities. So how do you create an inclusive environment in the community for these children?
Well, I'll say creating an inclusive environment, advocating for their rights. We try to see that schools, let me begin with education.
Okay.
Schools should be inclusive. This is not even an option. Like, if you look back at the UN Convention, schools are supposed to be inclusive. Going back to Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 4, it says it advocates for we talk about equality and inclusive education. So schools are supposed to be inclusive. Schools are not even supposed to say, oh, we don't have a space for your child. That is not correct. That's violating the child's right to belong. So we try to see that we could reach out to schools.
Okay.
You people should make spaces for children. You people have to recruit special need teachers for these children, because a child who doesn't have access to education is left behind. There is stigma. And if we leave education, we come back into the community as a society. You as the parent of the child. There are parents who, when they give birth to the child, they like, oh, let me just say it in pidgin, I don't born wish pikin. So man do something for my pikin time, my pikin be there inside my belly. You understand? So they themselves have that stigma that I've given birth to a certain type of child. My child is not normal. So we try to encourage the parents. Your child is very normal. Nothing is wrong with your child, and your child can excel like every other child. You, the parent, have to accept your child. If you don't accept your child, nobody can accept your child more than you. So you have to be able to accept your child, because if you see somebody doing something wrong to your child, you are able to correct them. And as a neighbor, I cannot do more than you. If I see that you don't even take care of your child, what prompts me to take care of your child? So we start from you, the parent. You have to be able to accept your child. Accept your child. Teach them to love themselves, because most of the times this stigma comes off from peers. Like, a child can go to play with somebody, and the parent of that of a normal child, as we term them, is going to say, oh no, don't play with that child. If something happen for the might pick or talk with it, that kind of stigma. So you need to be able to tell your child, you are normal, you are loved. Teach them self-love. We teach the parents, you are supposed to be very, very, I don't even know how to emphasize on the level of patience that you're supposed to have. The patience that you're supposed to have. I think Jesus himself has to leave heaven and come down and instill it in you, because you have to be very patient. Like, take for example, back at home, I have a niece that is disabled. At first, she was a normal kid. She was a normal kid right up to, let me say, Form 1. And one day she just collapsed. And then when she got up, she just collapsed, went into coma. When she got up, she was developmentally delayed. So even us at home, we were confused.
Of course.
I don't understand what's happening to our child, what's happening to my niece. And if you go back, people are going to be like, you don't surely touch my thing, they spoil your picking, But these are things that can happen. Be it scientifically, be it naturally, it can happen. So you just need to be able to accept your child that, oh, okay, my child is a very normal child, and my child has the right to education. My child has the right to proper healthcare. Because I don't even want to talk about how nurses and doctors as a whole treat us normal people. When you go to the hospital, sometimes even you as a normal person, and you have maybe a type of wound, to be like, oh,
that my wound is on way. I don't want clean at me.
Yes.
So imagine you as somebody with just the wound, the way they treat you. What more of a child with a disability? What more of a special child?
Yeah.
What more of a child that needs special attention? We are trying to call communities, health services, educational services, as well as even policy making. How many toilets, public toilets, are accessible to special needs people? How many? How many churches have said, okay, we'll build this entrance like this for people who can move normally, and then we'll build this entrance like this for people who are on wheelchairs? Most churches' entrance have steps. So if somebody comes with a wheelchair, how does the person get in? It's very difficult. So that's what we do. We reach out to churches. We're advocating for the rights. Make your church inclusive for everybody. Make your school inclusive for everybody, and make your hospitals inclusive for everybody. As a community, you welcome everybody. If you see a child with a special need getting abused, you report that. Because we don't even talk about the abuse that comes with children with special needs. A child with special needs can be abused.
Of course.
Yes, most of them. And they don't even, if you as a parent, you're not attentive to your child cannot come up to tell you that, oh, somebody touched me here. I don't know if it was correct. So you follow up with that. So we try to ensure that this is how the community should be inclusive. It is not even a debate. The community has to be inclusive. Yes.
Thank you so much, Joveline. And just to add to that, some parents find it very difficult to accept that they have special needs children.
Yes.
They keep forcing these children to integrate themselves in the normal level of education. You keep forcing you know deep within that your child is special needs, but then you cannot bring yourself to accept. First of all, it all starts with acceptance of these parents. I think maybe you have an experience to share when a parent is still not able to accept that the child has to belong to a special needs school. So how do you handle some of these type of situations? What is it that you do, or what is it that you tell these parents that is going to make it very subtle to them to accept their children?
As Jovelyn rightly said, there is this part of acceptance, and believe me, the last stage of everything you do in life is acceptance.
That's true.
Until you accept that your child needs special care, you can't be helped. It's just the same when you go to the hospital. The doctor does a test and tell you that you are suffering from this. You have to take medication. No, many people die not because of the illness, but because they have refused to accept. So we have a lot of those parents who do not even accept that their children need special care. And when you talk to them, they feel like you are talking down on them.
Exactly.
You are talking down on their personality. They feel that they have been insulted. And when you start helping the child, or somebody refers you to them, or maybe you approach a parent and you're like, Mom, I'm sure you have observed your child behave like this, and don't you think your child needs special attention? No, my child is fine. And the parent just cut you off. But now, as a special needs educator, as an advocate, you are not supposed to end there. You have to develop strategies in which you have to reach that parent. Because sometimes they feel like I'll carry my child for 9 months and give birth to a child, and you hashtag that child special needs. I am expecting my child to grow up one day, get married, give birth to children, take care of who I am old. And you tell me that my child is special needs. How do I start? Because they just believe that when you say special needs, it means that dating don't end.
Yes.
That became don't end.
Exactly.
But special needs is not just about the child. When you look at the child and say that this child cannot do this thing, this child cannot. Special needs also involve giftedness and talentedness. When you say a child, because in school they will have it. We had a particular case when I was teaching that child was excessively gifted. When you are solving, like, he was gifted in numbers, and you don't even need to even give him a calculator to calculate.
His brain just works everything out.
Yes. And the mother accepted that child needed help. Yes, because if I tell you that your child is gifted and talented, but it's a special needs, will you believe? You will not believe. You feel like,
of course, exactly.
So, but you have to manage it so that it doesn't go out of hand. Let the child be able to use that brain. Yes, because those people who do this, Einstein, they had autism. And those people with autism, they are excessively intelligent.
That's right.
Yes, it's because they have this attention deficit that they cannot really sit down and do something. Now, when you tell your parent that your child has this difficulty, yes, they tend to tell you that you are attacking my child, you are attacking my child, and I don't really like it. It takes more of talking, constant talking. You meet a psychologist, a guidance counselor who will talk to that parent, because some parents might even beat you. They might attack you. Yes, they might attack you, and that's bad. Yes, that's bad. So most time I'll encourage that before you say a child is a special needs, you have to make sure that the doctors has tested and proven. Yes, the guidance counselor and so on and so forth, all of them in line. They have the special the educators, they have tested and they have discovered that this child is a special needs before you say that child is a special needs, because you might be attacked. Yes, you might be attacked because a parent will tell you that the child is not a special need, and you insist that the child is a special needs, and it becomes a problem. Yeah, it becomes a problem. We face that every day. They even withdraw their children out of school.
From school. And then when do they send the children? They stay at home or they force them into?
At the end of the year, they still bring them the next year now. Because you want to go and taste another school.
And see if maybe it's your school that has a problem.
And when they refer you that, please go to that school. So say, that school I come over for day. At the end of the day, they come, they will start being like, I'm very sorry. You find them very humble at that moment.
Of course. Okay, thank you very much. And to you, Joy, how do you attend to parents who still find it very difficult to proudly move with their children like that? You see, most of them always keep, maybe if they have 3 children, they always say, no, they want to go away, she don't have for house. I always keep this one at home because this child is going to stress me out there and all that. How do you comfort these parents, if I should even use the word comfort? How do you comfort these parents to be able to accept their children and integrate them in their families? Because, you know, if a child is accepted in his or her family, no matter how bad that child feels out in the society, it's always going to be subtle, because you know you have your parents, you have your siblings always guide you, to always be there for you and all that. So what is it you tell these parents? Is it words of encouragement to accept the state of their children and look for ways to improve their learning and their inclusivity in the society?
Yeah, I'll first go with what Miss Flavia said. They need to accept the child. Because acceptance means you will be willing to work with that child. So when a parent is like reluctant to accept, the first thing you have to do is counseling. You have to take that parent, have a one-on-one talk with that parent. You explain. Some might be disputing the fact that that child is a special needs due to the fact that they don't understand what it is all about. Yes, so
might be acting out of ignorance.
Yes, so it might be caused by ignorance. So you have to first of all talk with the parent, get the parent to understand what special needs is all about. Because when they just get this child is a special needs, like Miss Flavia said, they tend to have some thoughts about those children. They feel that is just all about the child. The child can never do anything. But when we want to look at some scientists, yes, they are intelligent, but we term them as people. They were some that were even sent out of school due to the fact that they thought they were dumb. They could not even excel in academics. Yes, we have to talk with the parent. If they are sending this child to school, expect that this child is going to work according to his or her abilities. You don't need to just take a child and you send the child, expect that everything others are doing that child will do. So you have to first of all talk with the parent, let the parent understand that child, understand what all a special needs is all about. Yes, then through that, while the child is in your institution, the special educator can be giving feedbacks on the child improvement. We know some parents, when they get to know that my child went to school, the child was not even able to say he was not even to write, he could not even trace. But when you give feedbacks like today I worked with the child like this and this is what he did, when you are able to give the feedbacks, the parents too are eager to see what is happening. They too, they work with the child. If you tell me that my child was able to count from 1 to 10, something that I was not expecting, I will still call that child at home and I'll follow up. That is already doing what? Improving on the child's academics. As a child you are following up the child, the special educator is following the child in school. It boosts the child's academic performance. Now you tend to accept that child, because the more you try to know that child, the more you get to show love and you accept that child. I bet you if you are in the street and somebody tells you that your child is a special need, you smile because you know it's really a special need, and you just need that attention to bring that child to excel, be it integrate in the society or in the community or in school. Everywhere that child will feel I belong to this community. But if you don't accept that child, anything anybody tells you is zero. You will never even want to listen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, and like you rightly said, when you hear your child is a special needs child, you're going to be very happy, because if the child is special needs, obviously the child is going to give you special outcome, because I think parents should really normalize paying attention to their children with special needs. No matter what they are facing, speech impairment, intellectually,
a whole lot of them, autism,
Down syndrome, all of those things. Like, you should really pay attention to them. Don't segregate the child, because that child, you carry that child in your womb for 9 months, and that's a long time for you to be able to accept your child's state and look at ways of improving that child's state. Because you as a parent leaving your child, who do you want to take care of that child? You know, parents always have a special attachment to their children, and no matter who your child is, I think I salute all the parents always take out time to take good care of their special needs children. It means a lot to those children, and even to society and organizations who are advocating for the rights of those children. You make them feel inclusive in the society, and that's what we keep striving each day, to make them feel they are normal. I am also a human being as you are. The fact that I'm autistic does not make me less of a human being than you are. I want to look at some of the challenges and maybe possible solutions. And to you, Jovelyn, what are some of the challenges you face in the field advocating for the rights of these special needs children? Maybe you have confrontations from their parents, from their guardians, or even from the children themselves, because some of this, they are sometimes aggressive if you do not use the right approach. So what are some of the challenges you face?
Okay, like Madam Flavia said, acceptance. Most parents don't accept that their children are special needs. So we tell you, ma'am, sir, your child, looking at your child is a special needs. You might have an intellectual disability, a physical disability, but it doesn't make your child less of a child, and we're here to help you. And most of the times when people hear about organizations, they'll be like, but if you do it for my picking, so we now go, do you think, okay, you have a child, this is the only child you have, what are your expectations for this child? Do you just expect the child to be at home all through? And we say, if this child is at home all through, the child is going to be dependent on you forever.
That's right.
You're not empowering the child, so the child is going to be dependent on you forever. And that's when you now they start complaining of finances. That became this, so I overspend money on top the picking. I didn't spend the money, and then you say the picking do. You understand? So you have to be able to empower your child. Like we tell you, okay, that's where we come in with inclusive education. Send your child to school. Send your child for vocational training. People who organize vocational trainings have to make it inclusive.
Of course.
They have to be inclusive, because often on the streets we see people who are visually impaired selling stuffs. That is, they sell to earn income, to be able to take care of themselves. So what if they were not taught that vocational skill? They become dependent on the family. They are now seen as a burden, whereas they are not a burden. So you have to be, when we reach these communities, we try to educate them. At times it's very difficult, because some people say, the way they case you there, I don't even know. And if we even look some challenges, some parents don't even know. Like, okay, there was one time I had a discussion with a friend of mine. She's a doctor. She's an upcoming doctor rather, and she said one time when she went for internship, these rounds they do at the hospital, a lady gave birth to a child, and they detected that the child had Down syndrome, and the hospital did not let the mother know. And she went home with the baby, and everybody sat there knowing fully well that they are supposed to start telling, they were supposed to tell the woman that, madam, something is wrong with your child. We're not saying your child is sick, but there's something special about this your child. You have to make it to be, because some kind of things take people aback, like like my pregnancy was normal. I didn't find, because there are some of these special needs that they cannot be detected during pregnancy mode. They can only be detected later, even years, even 2 to 3 years. That's when it can start manifesting. So if starting from the hospital failed the lady to even inform her that, madam, your child has a Down syndrome. So if she goes home, the child is not talking, the child is just there.
Yes.
What do you do?
Maybe
She
they start
doesn't.
pointing fingers.
Yes, the husband, the family. You born now, which kind of picking? So give me. You don't go through your hand for usai.
Yeah.
The mother. We even know how some families and mother-in-laws can be. You know, you don't go put your hand for something. They do it to my picking, my grand picking.
Yeah.
They send you out and stuff. So we try to educate them. We first of all start with education. Mommy, pa, nothing be wrong with your picking. Your picking daily any other picking. It is just that your child is very special and needs a certain level of attention.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to your child, you get certain results. If you neglect your child becomes dependent on you.
Yes.
Totally dependent. You're going to pay for everything for the child. There is no day that the child will be able to say, oh, I did this from a vocational training, I did this, and after that I sold it and I raised money.
Yeah.
So all through your life, you're spending. Your child cannot help you. So you need to empower your child to be able to empower to be able to empower, for them to empower themselves. Because if you cannot empower your child, the society, who cannot empower your child more than you. If I come to help you and you drive me, I cannot force you. I can only keep on knocking on your door until you're willing. So most of the times of this challenge is just negligence. It is, let's say, the rigid mentality that the society has, that people with special needs cannot thrive in the society. Because let's even say you believe in your child, and your child goes to school all through to the way to the university, and let's just say your child happens to become a medical doctor. Now, there's a movie called The Good Doctor, where the doctor was, I think he should be autistic or Down syndrome, one of the above, and they did not let him work on patients. That is being exclusive. So you as a whole, I can bet that people in the society, if you walk into a hospital and you see an autistic doctor, the first thing say,
I'm not sure.
Maybe one can chew me until make my high or hand. Yeah, so that's it. We need more. We are trying to create that awareness and create to take away that rigid mentality, because it starts with that rigid mentality. People are not there. There's no information. They are not even aware. Parents who even have the children don't even know anything. Because let's even look at it. If we say, all right, people in urban towns, what about people in the villages? What about people in the villages? How many inclusive schools are in the villages? How many inclusive schools has the government built? That say, okay, we are going to make an inclusive school in the village. Children in the village are going to go to that school. But even if there's no inclusive school in the village, not everybody has a family member or someone at the urban side that I will say, I'm going to send my child to go and stay with so and so person. And even at times, even if you have somebody, that fear, how far are you going to take care of my child? How are you? Yes, that patience. Are you willing to be? You just, if I give my picking will really stay fine. You say, I can't my picking on. So
attachment.
That attachment.
Thank you very much, Joveni. And I'm coming back to you being with these children 247 every throughout the academic year. You people are always with these children. What are some of the challenges you people face, and how do you overcome these challenges with these children, given the fact that they have special abilities?
First of all, we'll start with the school. The school environment is not as inclusive as it was supposed to be. Let us say they are trying, but a little more of effort
should be
we
done.
Do a whole lot, because most time we have to wheel children on the wheelchairs, and we'll have to pass through some small verandas, and it's really kind of strenuous because you need to be extremely careful because the child might fall off from that wheelchair. And you know, a child like that falling off from the wheelchair, you know what will happen to the child's head, the head and the entire body as a whole. And we also have these challenges of teaching aids. Yes, you know, we have to be creative so that we create a teaching aid. But now sometimes we are limited with those resources to do all of that, because just as Miss Joy said here, that a child who is not seeing, who is not hearing, or will need to only see before understanding. Visual learners need to see what you are doing for them to understand what you are saying. Because you cannot be telling me that letter as an apple.
Yes, and I cannot see.
And then I'm not seeing apple. I'm only hearing apple.
I can just be imagining.
Sometimes you cannot bring the apple to class. Just draw the apple for the child to see. Yes, but there are some situations where we really need to do the practicality of it. Like maybe this handwork, arts and craft. Maybe you want to do something like teaching a child how to write the name using beats. Like using the letters of the alphabet, you can come out with your names. And maybe you can have the beats, but now the learners with physical impairment or learners with fine motor skills who cannot pick. You know that picking like that helps. Yeah, it helps. And if that child is not able to do it and you do it for that child, the child feels more like he or she has not done it. Since the friend has done it better, he feels like he has not done it. It's also a challenge. We also have this challenge of limited teachers. Yes, the learners are there, the learners want to learn, but now limited teachers, because institutions that train learners with special needs are few. And in the university they teach just theory. And you know, theory and practicals are two different things.
Of course.
By the time you see theory, you go and say a child with autism, the child will be moving in and out of class.
You
The child will be dumping on the
understand.
benches. You go and say a child will be a behavioral problem. The child will insult you in class, madam, look at you. And you will just be imagining those kind of things. And now you get to the fee, you actually see that child that the teacher was telling you, and you're like, what did the teacher even ask me to do? I'm confused. Or maybe you have to transfer a child from one wheelchair to another. Maybe you have to carry a child who cannot even, who has developmental delays. The child has to be attached to the wheelchair forever because of the child is weak. Yes, so all of that. And now, since the teachers are not many to do all of that work, we are supposed to do all of that work, and by the end of the day you get home very tired. You have to come back the next day. And now what has to bring you back the next day is because you have to see those children to be fine. It's just like
So they are
a
your
medication
strength.
that you are taking to be happy. If you don't see that you don't be happy, so come in the morning.
you're attached to these children.
Just so much attached. Yes.
So how do you cope during
Sometimes
these holidays?
the parents are like, when I go survive, so you're asking, mom, how is this one? How is this one? You look at them, they're like, when they see you on the road, the way they hawk you. Some people are like, one time I was passing around Boyatown. We have one of our learners at Boyatown that was always moving around. And when he sees you, he calls you, he smiles, and there's some other people like, they just look at you like you are not actually all right. Yes, my friends always ask me that, what how do you really teach those children? Because
that means you people also have special gifts to attend to special children, because
I used to tell them
it's
that.
not everybody that can do it. It's not everybody.
Yes, I always tell my colleagues, sometimes I feel like I've been transformed.
Of course, because to have the patience you have to deal with these children, I tell you, it's not easy, because only you looking at them on the street and you already feel a type, and then you people spend your whole time, you have to clean their mess, you have to ensure that they are okay. You people also, we also salute you people. You people also have special gifts to do all of these things. It is not easy. It's not an easy job. And I think parents always salute special needs educators, because sometimes some of them even want to send their children to people for holiday so that they can also rest, if I should say
you
rest.
Just said the truth.
Yes, because
parent made us and said, madam, please, can you adopt my child? Say the way you're taking over my child, my child don't even want to stay in the house even on Fridays. I want to come to school,
because
Mommy,
you have created that safe space for these children. And I think all of you all are doing a great job. All special needs educators who actually take out that time, the special gift they have in them to take care of these children. It's not all of us that can be special needs. If not, all of us would have been there, but it needs special grace to be able to take care of a special needs child.
My parent made me one day and said, madam, you tell me what you did to my child, because my child does not want to go home. You tell me what you did to my child. The child came and helped me, and was crying.
Oh no, it means there is something wrong in that home.
Yes,
it means the home is not conducive for the child.
Yes, they're being locked up. Some of them are being locked up.
Can you imagine?
Yes, they cannot even express themselves. That's why when they come out, they see their friends, they're like very happy.
Yeah.
But when they want to, it's time to go home, they go and hide. Start looking for them.
Oh no. So before we wrap up the program, we're almost done. If you're just joining us, you're on to Women's Voice on Divine Mercy Radio Television, and today we want to look at the role women play in providing inclusivity for special needs children. You could share your contributions with us via the numbers on your screen, SMS or WhatsApp. Be it you having a special needs child or having a child around you who has a special needs, and maybe you have a question for the special needs educators, you could feel free to send us your question, and I'm sure they are willing and they'll be able to respond to it. Don't look at empowering these special needs children, like Jovelyn was saying. If they're not empowered, they become a burden to the family. So how do you people empower these children?
In my institution, there is this vocational training that instills them with skills to do needlework and streamlining it, marking this, how do you call it, this Bamenda?
This Togo.
Okay. Yes. And
like what Jovelyn is, Joy is wearing. Okay.
And if you see what Joy is wearing and you bring it to there's a learner in school there who does it like more than someone who
more than the pros.
More than the pros.
Okay.
The child has autism. The child doesn't even talk much. He chooses whom to talk to. Yes. Most times when you greet him, he will not even answer. He chooses whom to talk to. And if you come to him violently, he will not react. He will not even talk to you. He will just be there. You will see that he's a dumb, of which he's so much observant. Yes. He does this thing like, I am just so happy for him. Because in the nearest years, you raise money for the family.
That's right.
And the mother is just so happy.
I know.
Yes, the mother is like...
the mother is accepting that she has a special...
Yes. And the child attains special training like this holidays. The child has a teacher who is training him. He goes there every day, Tuesday to Saturday.
Wow.
And with that, will the child not be independent?
Of course.
The child will even do better than his siblings at home, his peers. There are a lot of them who are coming up to with that. And we are wishing that in the years ahead, we will also have to bring in many more activities, because not everybody will be able to do the trading of needles to do that. Maybe some other person may want to do beads. Some other persons might want to do hair, beauty salon, all of those things. Yes, is to empower them. Yes, and when the parents are happy that their children are actually coming up to be independent, yes, they will really want to help the children. Because sometimes they find this difficulty in that the beginning of it do nothing. We told a parent that your son just traded a needle today.
So surprised, no confidence in your children.
I mean that the mother refused. My child cannot. We have to bring it. That do it there, your mother see it. The child had to do it for the mother to see.
The mom was very fulfilled.
Yes, most of them, parents do not believe that their children can do something. They do not believe, and that's bad.
So maybe to you, Joy, we're already wrapping up. We're running out of time, but then maybe you want to say a word to a parent out there who has a special needs child, a word of encouragement to that parent.
Okay, for you out there as a special need parent, you should not consider that child as being special means the child cannot excel. Like Miss Flavia rightly said, the child cannot excel maybe academic, but the child can have a skill. Yes, we must not only focus on the child being the child excelling academically. Yes, the child can excel in a skill. Yes, like she said, institutions, when we accept these children with special needs, we don't just look at them academically. We work on their behaviors. We work on their skills. So when you identify a skill in a child, you try to empower that child in that particular aspect. The child might be this one might be able to mark. This one will not be able. That child who is not able to mark can do painting. He can draw. So having a child with a special need, for a parent, first accept that child.
That's right.
Accept that your child has a special need. Then you get in contact with people who share the same experience with you.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you are in the midst of people who have children with special needs, I bet you have a lot of things to learn from them. This one I tell you, I did like I took this strategy and it worked for my child. Maybe you are struggling with the same thing and you apply it, it will work. You will be happy. You will even go and tell the others. So you as a special needs parent, the first thing they have to do with your child is just to accept that child, show that child love, build that love, that communication with the child. When the child is open with you, you can be able to discover a lot of things about that child. Maybe the child can manifest some behaviors that you don't like accept it. You try to curb it, because if you don't accept that child, you never know what that child can do and what that child cannot do. Like an Indian movie that I watched, there was a parent had a child with a special needs. Yeah, but since the child was not excelling academically, they thought the child could not do anything, and they failed the child. They left the child, and you see that that child needed just love from the parents to excel. Why? Because in his diary he had a painting of his parents. The more they were distancing themselves from the child, that's when the child was also distancing himself. That trust, that confidence, that self-esteem, it went to an extent that that child does not still see the parents as people he could look up to or be open to them. So as a special need parent, accept the child, build that confidence, bring that image that when the child will see you like a god, somebody he can look up to, somebody that can stand up for him, him or her. So if the child knows that, no, if my parent can stand up for me, one more of the society, if you are out there and somebody tells you that you are a special need, your parent will tell you that, no, my child is special, because that child just need be special attention, even be more than you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joe. We're running out of time, so we're going to be wrapping up at this point. But before we take leave of our viewers, I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you so much, Jovelyn, for being part of the panel. Thank you so much, Flavia, for contributing, and of course to you too, Joy. Thank you so much for coming on board and for us to try to shed a light on our special needs children as we continue to support and maybe enhance the promotion of inclusivity for special needs children. We continue to beg on the parents to just stay proud of their children. Whatever child you have, it is a gift from God, and that special need you see in that child needs special attention for special outcomes. So continue loving your children as you've always been doing. Continue to provide for them and be proud of them. Show them love and compassion, and I trust me, you're going to be surprised with the outcome you'll be having from these children. Thank you all for watching the program today, and definitely we'll be here for another interesting edition next week. So stay tuned to Divine Mercy Radio Television for more interesting programs. I've been Magdalene Wundo. See you next week.